I was not really thinking of creating this video, but I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it, because nonetheless, I think it should be talked about anyway. I think growing up and moving on is something that we should all do and that we should all anticipate in, because there's constantly people around me who have such a hatred or a grudge against me. There's a few people out there who constantly think they have such a huge marker in this whole society and believe they are the top dogs or the top people, and they pretend that they don't like me in a sense. Not really the top people, but people who, I talk on a daily basis to, especially if it's a place where I work at. And, they get upset because I don't talk to them. Well, first of all, if you're upset that I'm not talking to you or something, well, first of all, I didn't know that. The thing is, at that time, that person was going through something, and I left them alone. Because, occasionally I will leave people alone who are dealing with something. Because, when you speak out and lash out against someone, you regret what you say. And half of the time, that's why I decided to not push someone who is already on the edge. And specifically, I'm a very quiet person. I'm antisocial. I'm not really keen on talking to people. I only talk to people when I have to, and that's really less than less, because I am very not great with people around. I talk less around people, and I don't like crowds of people either. I usually keep away from those type of things. I'm antisocial, and I have a lot of things that I'd rather just not talk about, because I don't want to, make myself a target on someone's back. And also, I do want to speak on about the Discord thing. I did see you guys comment that. I'm not adding anyone on Discord. I'm sorry if that's what you wanted to do. I just wanted to say this out loud because I did see those messages. I am not adding anyone or anything or even want to be friends. Alright, this is for my own benefit and my own occasional yak sessions where I want to talk about something that specifically pisses me off and I want to talk about. If it's mental health or something along the lines that I want to speak to an audience or someone out there who will watch these videos and pass them on, I will sure do so. But people need to realize they need to stop doing stupid shit and realizing that people should just grow up and move on, because people have such a mentality of holding on to something when it's specifically not meant to be held on to. I don't know why people are like this. This is such a, oh, I don't know, it's such a fucking childish mindset to have. When specifically you should be, focused on yourself and others around you and not simply, oh yeah, well, this guy was being a dickhead to me and all that, blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't really, you know, get rid of that kind of, satisfaction from your face or anything like that, because you want to hurt them so badly. But in the end, it doesn't mean shit. Anger and hate don't mean crap at the end of the day. Where you hold on to this significant hatred, and then what happens then? It just turns out into a bunch of rage that you can't, hold on to. You can't, anticipate what this is doing to your life. So then, people get pissed and angry at you because of stupid shit, stupid reasons. I don't understand how half of society nowadays, when we get into arguments and get into fights and shit, it's always someone who's pissy and just in a bad fucking mood who causes to ruin everyone else's day. Oh my god, it's just a fucking nightmare to deal with. And I constantly have a fucking huge migraine over this shit over and over again. Because people have such a fucking, just a deaf tone to what others think of them. And then, they talk about people behind their back. They're the kind of fucking cunts that you don't hang out with. You don't hang out with those type of people because they deserve so much worse. I usually don't swear too much or go into, a depth of cursing out people, but sometimes I want to, because people like this piss me off all the time. And I try to keep this appropriate, because half of my audience, I'm sure of, is, young and I'm 20 years old, and I need to make an example, you know? Show adults and show younger people how to fit into society. But me as a whole, I can't even fit into society at all. I feel like I'm so backpedaling over and over again. And it's a constant reminder that I'm not the perfect person here. I don't fucking think I am at all. I don't care if I'm not. Because I don't care about being perfect. I'm caring about making these videos and doing educational things, or talking about topics that need to be talking about, because I feel like I should put my opinion on them. Even though if you don't want my opinion or want my thoughts on these topics, I'd rather give them out either way. Because people need to fucking grow up and move on. Because half the time, people don't fucking move on or grow up. They stay in this constant little fucking hole that they have created for themselves in their own head, and it gets worse and worse. And you know what? They don't really give a fuck about that either. If they just let it keep getting worse to the point it means nothing, literally nothing, and people don't care, simply don't fucking care how much they do this. And it's so stupid when you do this kind of shit, because first of all, you need to be self-aware of what you do in life and what things you do. Like, kids need to be self-aware, adults need to be self-aware what they do in life. Because killing someone obviously means you're going to be spending the rest of your life in fucking prison for whatever you did. And, well, if you want to go to prison, go to hell and do so, but don't drag someone down with you. If you want to go to jail, go to jail. I mean, like, half of these people don't want to grow up and commit to society, and half of them just want to do drugs or fucking drive cars so quickly and get, hanged out into the police. I get it, how it's fun and that. I get that shit. I don't do it specifically because I don't want to lose my license. I don't want to lose, friends or people around me if I get into an accident and die in it. Alright? I could be depressed, I could be sad, but it doesn't mean I want to go kill myself. Of course. Because there's so many people who get into accidents when driving and, end their lives significantly horribly. It's a sad, sad fucking world out there. And people assume, oh, well, maybe if they weren't drinking, maybe if they were just, having fun and driving at a quick speed, it would be fine. It doesn't matter if they're driving at something ridiculously fast. You still fucking die either way, depending on what way. But it doesn't matter even what way you crash out. If you're going too fucking quick, like 100 kilometers or 200, it doesn't matter. You're dead either way. Whatever you hit and whatever impact it is, you're dead. And it's so sad because there is a few people who actually, die like this, who lose control of a vehicle. And, oh my god, I don't want to get started on this topic, but humanity can be really cruel in these occasional ways. And it's so horrifying because you see how horrible humanity can be as a whole. And I get that. Humanity as a whole is horrible. And the thing is, that's just how we are. It's how the whole generation has been. Just horrible. We're not like kind people. We're not, living in a fantasy world where everyone is actually nice and kind. Because that's not true. That's just a delusional world. Because that doesn't really exist at all. And if it did exist, I don't think it would be a good world at all. Because there is going to be, war. There's going to be constant crimes. There's going to be constant people dying. That's just how the way world is. It sucks, but it's true. And, I feel like half the people who, don't grow up and move on and stick to these ideologies of, getting angry at someone or being pissed at someone. I get it, if you're mad at someone, then that's fine. But, to a point where it affects your life so drastically that it becomes such a headache for you, and it ruins your self-esteem and ruins your whole personality, whatever, it becomes a part of your personality at a point, then, yeah, you need to fucking quit hating that person, because it's going to ruin your life, and it has ruined a lot of people's lives. It's significantly hurted my life a lot, and that's why I have let go of hating people that I disliked, and even disliking people is into an extent reaching those boundaries. So yes, make sure you don't reach those boundaries where you go to significantly hating someone. Even if you do dislike someone, keep it into the dislike area. But even then, it can significantly grow depending on what objections or what that person does to you next. Don't let it, grow. Don't let it fester louder than it already is. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.